Okay, everybody, this is one that everyone has been incredibly excited about. Sauceinu. Hi, guys. How are you? Thank you very much for your time, Poncho and the Real Cool C. How are you both?
Doing well. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having us, Max.
No problem at all. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for taking the time because I know you're both incredibly busy. So, for those who don't know, can you explain Sauceinu? What is it? Why did you start it?
Poncho, you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah, I think I can take this one. So, Sauce Inu has a crazy lore history behind it in the Hedera community. W- Neither of us started the project. We kind of started taking ownership of it after the original founders had a issue with the security and suffered an exploit. The community actually lost a lot of the original like liquidity funding that they had invested into it, and we stepped in at that point and started building it back to what it is today.
Wow. Oh, wow. I had no idea. Well, thank you very much for doing that on behalf of the people that you've kind of honored. So that's amazing. So why did you were you some other people in the community, or why did you decide and how did you take it over?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think we're all members of the greater Hedera community, and when the exploit happened, I was in the Gilmore Estates community, and they were really bummed out because they had a large liquidity pair with Sauce Inu, and then the token crashed, causing their token also to suffer a dip, right? So I kind of joined the community and started taking a look around. Um, and I saw it as a huge opportunity because Sauce Inu's main pairing is Sauce, and their mission basically is to spread awareness of the Sauce token, like to other projects outside of Hedera, and let them know about our ecosystem. So I also had seen kind of a similar situation unfold with Shiba Inu, and at that time I didn't know enough about crypto to realize the opportunity, and I missed out on that. And I just wasn't going to let that happen again, this time.
Good for you, Poncho. And what's your kind of feelings about it, the Real Cool C?
I had been keeping an eye on the Sauceinu project since its launch, but I hadn't personally invested. I missed the initially there was an airdrop to all X Sauce holders, so that's how the token was distributed originally, and I had missed out on that. And but I thought it was a great concept of a saucer swap themed Inu token, and I hadn't been a meme token investor before Sauceinu, but I joined the Discord and I really liked the community, and there were some great memes floating around there. People like to make memes and share them on the Discord, and I don't know. I thought that the pairing with Saucer Swap, the Sauce token in the liquidity pool, and the tokenomics were excellent for the project. The entire supply of Saucinu is in circulation or locked in DaVinci Graph, so there won't be any inflation. Um, so I thought that was a huge selling point, but I was waiting for a good opportunity to invest in the project as well. So when I saw that, unfortunately, the exploit had happened, I had to dip my toe. But ever since then, just been building and building, and been real involved with the community, and I love it here. So I'm excited to see what's going to be the future of Sauceinu.
Yeah, I think you've got well, I know you've got a really solid following in the community, and that's really good to see. So what's the relationship? You mentioned quite a few times there in terms of liquidity pools, source inu and source. So what's the relationship like there? Is there a formal open line sort of open channels, or is it just fan fiction?
So we aren't like officially affiliated with the Sauce community. It's more of a fan based project. Um, But when you're looking through the tokens and you see Sauce and then Sauceinu, I think a lot of people, especially people who are coming into the ecosystem, kind of make the connection. And I really do think that meme coins especially get people like excited about crypto, because especially people who don't come from a background of finance or anything like that, there's not a lot to kind of capture their interest. But when you have these projects that have a lot more like fun involved, and give people kind of that sense of excitement, I think it's a great way for them to dip their toe into the ecosystem. So even though we're not like officially sponsored by Sauce, I think the mission that the token's been on to kind of spread awareness of Sauce and the Sauce community is still a success.
Yeah, I think you're yeah, that's a great answer, and it is nice that to have these sort of sub projects of fan fiction and all the stuff that goes on in these different ecosystems. So it's very hard, it's very difficult because depending on where I look, what is the maximum supply of Sauceinu? Because depending on where you check, it varies.
100 billion.
100 billion. Yeah. So, for example, on CoinGecko, it shows an infinite supply, as opposed to 100 bill.
So that the token, I believe, was minted on the Kabila tool, and the tooling doesn't have an option in there to actually set it to finite. So by default, it sets it to infinite, but the token supply is definitely limited. There's no keys. There's, no infinite token supply continually being minted or anything like that.
Okay, and more than that, actually, as you said, those tokens are all out in the wild now. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so what I've got to ask, because when you look at the chart, and I'll put it up on the screen as we're talking about it so people can see what I'm talking about. But what the heck happened on December the 9th, 10th to January the 5th? And the reason I say that is because you went from is it five? Yeah, 5.01 pence to 4.03. So what happened there? What was caused the 10x? Do you know what caused that spike?
So
No, go ahead, man. You got it.
okay. So we had been working on an NFT project to revitalize the community. And if I could just say one thing to preface all this is that the governing council has been trying to bring utility to this meme project in a way that it's not just about memes or GIFs or just the concept of a space themed dog, but we want to actually give something back to the investors and the community. So we had an idea to release a new NFT called the Golden Inu, and it was a dual purpose in that it helped us to refund the treasury, and then we rewarded the Golden Inu holders with airdrops. So we've invested the funds that were collected from the NFT mint into DeFi, and we have other partnerships as well that are paying tokens to the holders. So and we hope to continue adding utility for the Golden Inu holders. And I think that there was a lot of excitement around that launch because that happened around that time. I don't have it in my notes right now when we officially launched that, but I know that was right around that time frame.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
definitely. I was just gonna say it really was just the community rallying behind the project. And we saw like an amazing recovery that took off to new highs. I think since the council, because there's actually 4 of us that manage the project, since we've taken over, I think we've broken our all-time high 4 times.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing. So today you're sitting at 4.02 pence. So probably, obviously, it's more in dollars, but I work in, obviously, I'm British, so I work in pence and pounds and pence. What do you think? What's the hopes and dreams then, guys, looking to the future? You talked there on utility, because of the projects I've spoken to, I think there's there's meme coins like Grelf who are unapologetically a meme coin. You're not getting anything. It's just speculation. It's for fun. That's it. Have a good time. And then you've got sort of real world businesses that do something in the real world at one end, and they happen to have a token that plays a part in the way they operate their business. And then there's this sort of bit in the middle where they're a meme coin, but they have some utility. So you guys trying to position yourself in the kind of middle?
Yeah, I think our project takes more after like Shiba Inu, who also tries to build a lot of utility for their holders. With us right now, we've got a close partnership with DaVinci Graph, and part of that, our investment into them is going to be airdropping the golden Inu holders. I believe it's 444 DaVinci each over the airdrop schedule. We've also got a partnership with Gcoin, and we're doing similar. I think it's 495 Gcoin over the airdrop schedule to each holder. And we're, not going to stop adding these types of opportunities. So that long term, we can expose our community to projects that we think, have a lot of value and will continue to grow in the Hedera space. And, really reward the people who stuck around and believed in the project and really believed in, Sauce and Hedera on a larger scale, and weren't shaken by, the FUD and what had happened.
Yeah. Okay. Interestingly,
if I could add something to that, so the Golden Inu was our original NFT release, and it was I think the people who invested in that were all people who had really stuck it out with the project. So the GC, we want to reward the people who helped to, rebuild the project and give us an opportunity to actually make it something great. So our mission is to continue to provide additional rewards to the Golden Inu holders.
Okay. Okay, and interestingly, what I was going to say then is that I'm interviewing the DaVinci guys, so I'll mention that to them and see what from their perspective what that looks like. But so where do you see yourselves then in a year's time, 2 years' time, 5 years' time? What does the project look like?
Well, we have other goals on our roadmap, and things that we're going to continue to contribute. And we actually have a golden paper coming out that kind of covers this more in detail. It should be out in the next few days. It's actually a little bit late right now. But some of the things that we can mention on there, there is like a merchandise shop that we're planning to build. Some of those proceeds as well will be redistributed to the community. We also do distribute the farm rewards, and pretty much everything that we do, a piece of it will go back directly to the community. And our other goal is to reinvest in our development so that we can continue to move forward. So the team that we've established is more in it for the long term, and I don't think any of us are like ever going to give up trying to move the project forward.
Good. And what about you, Kulsi? What's your kind of vision for the future and the years coming ahead?
Sure. Yeah. So as I said, one of my biggest reasons for wanting to invest into Sauceinu originally was because of the tokenomics. And, I think the fact that there's no new supply, no inflation is a really big selling point. But we have plans to improve that even more. And I think it's going to create a really exciting opportunity for investors to leverage the tokenomics to build up some excitement about the potential for, price action.
Yeah, there is a burn mechanism that's active on the token as well. So I think long term, over the next year or in the next several years, it's going to cause that limited supply to kind of squeeze a little bit. So we're excited about that for sure.
And just to tie into that as well. Oh, sorry, Max.
No, it's okay. Go on. No, go ahead.
So to tie into what Pancho was saying about the burn mechanism, the so when the Sauceinu project was still young, they released a NFT called the Flagship, and it originally had a utility where it was supposed to airdrop the holder's Sauceinu token. Since the treasury was drained during the exploit, that was no longer, or it wasn't, the treasury was not drained. The treasury was used to repay the victims of the exploit. But since that had happened, then the holders of the flagship NFT there was no funds to pay out to them anymore. So we have created a new version 2 of the flagship NFTs that the holders can swap one for one. So their serial numbers will match their new V2 NFTs, and we've integrated a faucet bot into our Discord where they can just go and engage with the bot, and it will pay them Sauceinu token to their wallet if they pass the token verification. And we've also added royalties to that are paid out. Some of it goes to the treasury for managing the project, and then some also are going to be burned as well. So there's another mechanism for improving the tokenomics.
So you mentioned the burn mechanism there. Have you worked out yet what the, because obviously it'll come to a final point where everybody who's going to cash in has, and the burn stops. What will that represent as a total of the supply? Do you know?
Right now, I think it's about 6% at 6 billion of the token supply.
Okay, and is that the only burn, or are there going to be other plans for other burns down the road, or is 6 billion leaving you with circa 94 billion coins left?
So 6 billion, yes, has already been burned. We don't have a cap on the amount that can be burned, but if at some point we find it necessary to put a cap on it, perhaps we would. But I don't anticipate that the royalties from the trading of the flagship will, we're not going to end up burning 50% of the total supply or something like that. No.
Okay, fantastic. So just looking to the future again, what do you think is fair value for Sauceinu? Where do you think, it's currently at 402? Is that overvalued, undervalued? Where do you think it should sit, really?
I believe that Sauceinu could easily reach 100 million if the circumstances are correct. With the tokenomics and hopefully the influx of investors into Hedera again. I think it's very reasonable to expect that could happen, or with any HTS token for that matter.
As a market cap, you mean that real C?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Poncho? What do you think? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think there's still a lot of growth potential for, Hedera as a whole, and Sauce is at the forefront of that. With the token pairing we have, it's kind of inevitable that as Sauce grows, Sauceinu will grow with it. And I think as the ecosystem evolves, Sauceinu has a really good chance of being like Hedera's Shiba Inu or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get your thinking and I can see your logic. Okay, so if people want to get involved, where's the best place to go? Of course, I'll put all the links in the description below, but I just wanted to hear from you guys. Where's the best place to learn more about Sauceinu?
Our Discord community for Sauceinu is really vibrant. We also have a growing Twitter account. But if you do want to interact directly with any of us or the community in real time, I would definitely recommend the Discord.
Okay, cool. And again, I'll put the links. Sorry, I called you Sauceinu. I'll put the links in the description below. So one last question.
We do have a website as well. Yes, sauceinu.com.
Oh wow, you got the .com. That's cool. Okay, well again, I'll put that in the description below too. One last question for both of you. You're not allowed to pick Sauceinu. You have to pick something else. Your top 3 favorite HTS tokens You can either do them in order or they don't have to be. So what are your top three? Poncho, you first. What's your top three?
I would definitely go with Da Vinci, Gilmore Estates, and for number three, probably Sauce.
Got to be Sauce. Yeah, I was hoping you were going to say that. What about you, the real cool C?
You're putting me on the spot here. I might have to pull up my portfolio. Uh, definitely Saucer Swap, Sauce Token, and Da Vinci Graph as well. I'm a big fan of that project. And to be honest with you, I invest a lot into NFTs, so there's a lot of great NFT projects out there. But you asked me HTS tokens, so hmm.
One more. Come on.
It's hard to say. I don't want to be unfair. Um, I think I'd probably go with Gilmore as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Gcoin.
Yeah. Okay. Good choices. Thank you so much for your time, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you both. And I think the way that you've stepped in, kind of tried to make, or have, for all intents and purposes, made the community in this project whole. I think that's really fantastic. And I really wish you well. And I hope that this project does everything that you dream it does, and much, much more. Both for you guys, who are clearly, trying your best and working hard at this, for the community that supports you, but also for the Hedera ecosystem in general. So I wish you the absolute best of luck. And thank you again so much for your time.
Yes, thank you, Max. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
No problem at all. Take care, guys.